Alrighty.
What did we have next?
That took us into the Raw Women's Championship match, where it was Big Time Bex with a fancy new hairdo. I liked it.
Did you?
I did.
You look like a witch.
I liked it. Yeah, I liked the look. It was good. With the orange face, the red face. Sorry, Anthony. The EST of the WWE, Bianca Belair.
And didn't they have big entrances?
They had great entrances and a great match.
Yeah, the Texas Southern University marching band for Bianca Belair, and the entrance in the Jeep for and the new hairdo for, of course, for Becky. Interestingly enough, I don't know again if you saw Raw last night, but Bianca Belair sporting the biggest black eye you've ever seen. So she's obviously
she got one there.
She got one there. It was a beauty. You want to see it? It's absolutely brilliant.
I want to say something right now on that.
Sorry?
I want to say something right now on that.
Yes.
I think half of that was makeup to make it look worse.
You reckon?
It's pretty hard to make it swell.
Yeah,
it's hard for it to swell, but like if you see when it all goes down, how there was a lot more color down this way than what.
Oh, maybe. But
I don't know.
I didn't take that much attention. I wasn't looking at her eye, but
I thought this was a great match.
Yeah.
I thought actually this might have been close to match of the night at one point, but I was wrong, obviously. But when I started watching this match, I started watching with a little bit half-heartedness about it, thinking, and then as the match grew, it looked like a fight. It got into looking like a fight, like these two people. It wasn't over saturated with work spots or anything like that. It looked like two people that were fighting for something. Fighting. They wanted the belt, and I thought it was a good match. I thought All Over was a good match.
Yeah, I agree. I thought the build up to the match was brilliant.
Yep.
With the shows and then the cutting of the hair and all of that on the SmackDown. On Raw the nights, a couple of nights previous, and how they build it. But the start of the match, I don't know if you remember as a kid, when they used to televise live, the big Muhammad Ali fights. And it had that real big fight.
Yeah.
So I actually was thinking of that. It had a big fight feeling, the atmosphere, the way the picture they shot, the way it was shot, the match. I thought it was absolutely fantastic.
I absolutely bag SummerSlam, and I'm willing to say this with the way they beat Bianca Belair and she beat Bianca Belair.
Yeah.
But I'll eat my words here, right? Is that I think that build up for like 9 months.
Yeah.
And everyone knowing how she got beaten, and finally they've got a chance in the ring at each other, actually gave anticipation to them, made people anticipate, hunger for the match. So that was my feeling of it, There's some things I don't like about Becky Lynch. Oh, this ridiculous selling when she doesn't get the 3 count. Tongue hanging out her head, like she's a fish out of water because she hasn't got, like she's having a nervous breakdown. Yes, be pissed, show emotion. But I don't know who's told her this was the right thing to do, but it just looks ridiculous. Yeah. It does. This woman really has such an upside, great, good worker, right? Good solid worker, right? Great heel, right? Throws her body around, isn't afraid to throw her body around, that kind of thing. Make the other person look good and do techniques that will try and get the crowd hyped for it. But that ridiculous selling. Oh, when she doesn't get the pin, I look at it and I say, oh my God, will you stop doing that? I don't mind if you pull at your hair and you get pissed off, but that face is just ridiculous. The other thing too I will say about Becky Lynch is her ring attire. We've noticed since she's come back, she's gone for the high crutch stuff. And I don't think it's flattering. I don't think it's flattering at all for her. I think, I just don't think it works for her. It's my personal perception. But as a worker, great job.
I thought
as
she had
match,
very
both.
cheeks.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm thinking of. I think I don't. Yeah, I don't know. For me, I just don't like the look
She's
of it.
lost a lot of weight, though.
Lost a lot of size. She
Hasn't
has.
she?
Somebody. Oh, look, there was a rumor going around that she was quite ill.
Well, I've heard that because she did spend a bit of time in hospital a couple of weeks ago, and she's now actually has got a leave of absence from WWE for a little while.
Yeah, so I hope she's well. She's a great worker.
Absolutely.
I hope she's okay.
I think what's happened is she's had the baby. She maybe came back a little bit sooner than she wanted to, and I think that goes back to that SummerSlam where was it Sasha Banks who got COVID or something, and they needed to bring someone in, and that's why they did the whole 26-second thing because that wouldn't affect her.
She's lost size since then, though.
Yeah, that's what I mean. She's lost a lot of size. She's got a newborn baby. She's had probably a fairly tough time, and with the roster they have and the routine and the matches and probably I think she probably is a bit worn out. She looked tired.
Yeah, so I hope she's well. Hope everything's
good.
God,
yeah.
Great match, WrestleMania quality match.
Absolutely.
From both ladies, please go back and look at that tape and don't keep selling like that every time something doesn't go your way, please. Right? And but nothing to be disappointed about. With the money I paid to watch it, I was very happy to pay and see that match. What do you reckon, Anthony?
This was probably the better one, and that's putting into account the SummerSlam and the Extreme Rules match. That's putting those two matches in account there too. I thought that there were a couple of transitions between the moves that seemed a bit awkward. I can't remember which ones exactly, if I'm being honest.
But that's Becky Lynch. She does every match she does. You'll see there's an issue between transition. She doesn't flow well. I don't know if it's the way she was trained or that with it, and also too spot monkey, style wrestling. The way we learned how to wrestle back in the day was you'd basically use chain to flow through from one position to another. Yeah. Where now it's all about the next spot, the next spot, the next spot, and sometimes when you're working on a spot basis, you lose that connection or flow between the techniques. But I understand exactly what you're talking about.
But aside from that, I do like how they did the little callback to the SummerSlam match at the start, where it was almost done before it began. I do like how they called back to that. Other than that, it was a pretty great match. It was probably one of Becky Lynch's better ones since she returned.
Yeah. I want to ask you both a question, and there's a method to my madness. What's your overall opinion of Bianca Belair?
Extremely athletic.
Yeah?
Yeah, look, I think that she's definitely a face, right? Obviously athletic. My problem is how good is her shelf life? Will people get fed up with her, quickly? Because she seems to be one-dimensional. That's just my looking. If I'm looking with my booking hat on, how long of a run can I get out of this girl with this belt? I think she needs to be. She's a little bit Hoganish, and I'll say this. Well, I say Hoganish, or that style of face is where they always need to be under pressure. They always need to be fighting from underneath with good heels. And is there enough good heels there that she can fight from under? To get herself over with. That's my question on it. Not that I'm not saying that she's not a great worker. She's a good worker. For somebody who hasn't been in the business very long either, doing a great job. But yeah, I think that, she will need strong heels to help moving the character forward.
I asked that question because I'm going to probably become extremely unpopular.
Yeah.
I can't warm to her. I can't get into her. She's very, even on Raw last night, it's not that she's a show-off because all wrestlers self-promote and I'm, this and that. But I don't know. She sort of grates on me a little bit. I can't warm to her.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. I agree with Anthony. Super, super athletic. Pretty good worker. Still has a way to go, but good. I mean, no question there. But I don't know. Does she sort of have the charisma?
Well, that's where she's going to need good heels.
Yeah.
She's going to need good heels to make her look good.
Yeah, I just. But anyway.
No, it's a fair point because
I just can't.
That's why I said.
To her.
That's why I said about her shelf life.
Yeah.
I mean, she's at the moment. She's just come off the back of winning against the top heel.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say she gets in with Natalia. Let's say she gets in with who else is there? That's sort of at that lower end. Say, Liv Morgan's a face.
You'd need.
Trying to think of somebody that's there. That's sort of lower end. That's not got a lot of. It's a heel, but not with a lot of heel heat. I think you would struggle. She'll struggle to
that Nikki ASH.
Yeah, people like that.
Yeah.
She will struggle to get interest in her matches. She needs a good, strong heel to allow her to be a good face. So, and I think the show-off side of things, I think that's a cultural thing.
Yeah,
I think if the Americans are very show-offish in general, right? And then if you're using the African American side of things, they're very show-offish too, and it's all about the bling and everything else.
Mm-hmm.
So if that grates on you, that probably will grate on you. If they're like they are naturally show-offish style of people. Most Americans,
sort of.
Yeah, it's that kind of thing. So the hair and the nails and everything else. Yeah, but I see where you're coming from. I do see where you're coming from with that.
Mm.
I understand. I mean, it will be a certain taste of people that will warm to her. But like I said, as a booker, I question her shelf life. Where Flair, she's evergreen. You never got to worry about her. So even Becky Lynch, evergreen.
I reckon Charlotte Flair's the EST, really.
Yeah. Charlotte Flair is definitely the VIP of the industry, of the female industry at the moment. Maybe even of the male industry, if the truth be known. So,
there's a very interesting story about that match when we get to it later that I found out today. But anyway, what did we give this one out of 10?
I was impressed with. I gave it a 7.
I gave it 7.5 as my best match of the card to that point.
Yeah, it's the same with me. I gave it 7.
Anthony, what did you go?
6.
6?
Okay.